I don't know what my algorithm is sending me, but I specifically keep getting fed clothing optional resorts. So just a word to the wise, like we'll make sure to filter those out from our show notes.
Welcome back to Organized Chaos. I'm Melissa.
And I'm Kathleen.
Today, we're talking about Mammoth Mountain, which for Southern California families is one of our best backyard ski mountains.
It really is. And this year, especially, it feels like one of the only places west of the Rockies that actually had decent snow. That is until that Snowmageddon storm came in February.
The snowfall's been so weird this season. It's been dumping in places like New York City and then bare in other mountain town places. It's really weird.
Welcome to Organized Chaos.
Mammoth is actually usually pretty solid and has a season that goes relatively late. My family's been there in the spring. That pond skim that they do is legendary. They go down this big hill and then they skim across a pond. Huge energy. It's like a party. Super fun in the springtime. I know that some years Mammoth's even been open till the 4th of July.
Yes, growing up, we would actually go spring skiing for Easter every year. And you wouldn't even need a jacket. You could just wear your coveralls and a long sleeve shirt and you'd be fine. It's a wonderful mountain for families year round.
Totally agree.
Okay. For reference, we live in Southern California, and if traffic cooperates, it's about a 5-hour drive to Mammoth.
Which is super doable and reasonable, but 5 hours with kids in a car for just 2 nights can sometimes feel like a lot.
Yeah, exactly. And you can go for a quick weekend. My husband and I have done it together. But on our most recent trip, we were going for 4 nights. We decided to slow down the drive and actually enjoy it instead of white knuckling. I feel like growing up, my parents would always get us in the car super early and scream at us and say, we're not stopping till we get to Mammoth. And if you have to pee, you need to pee in a Gatorade bottle. So this was a different speed for me.
There's also an airport in Mammoth if you don't want to make the drive or if you're coming from elsewhere. However, it is a small airport and the flights can get canceled or rerouted just due to weather and the fact that it's small. So it's a little bit of a riskier option. But we've had friends do that for some of our Mammoth trips where they're meeting us or have some other reason why they need to fly.
That sounds like your dream, Melissa. A small plane into a bumpy mountain airport.
Yeah, I have never gone in and out of that airport. I've picked people up there, but sounds terrible for me. Sorry, Mammoth Airport. I'm sure you're wonderful.
Our last trip that we went to Mammoth was just recently. We went around President's Day weekend for our kids' ski week. I'm not sure if this is the case other places, but in Southern California, a lot of schools give you a week off in early February around President's Day to go skiing or just give the teachers a break. So we left our house around 7, and the first stop we made was in Ridgecrest at this adorable coffee shop called Desert Brew. The kids got Nutella waffles. My husband and I got an avocado toast and a coffee, and it was a very civilized start to the trip as opposed to just loading up on gas station snacks. The next stop we took was in Lone Pine to see the Mobius Arch, which is in the Alabama Hills. It's an incredible rock formation and gives you classic Sierra views. Through this portal is what they call it. You can actually see the top of Mount Whitney. I grew up in Southern California and I've never made this stop. If you're going to hike Mount Whitney, this is where you stop off the freeway to begin that sojourn. I've never done it, but I hear it's an amazing experience. The vistas were beautiful, although all my kids could do was complain about how we made them turn off their iPads. They were talking about the hike like it was climbing K2 when really it was just a 10-minute walk across a dirt road.
I do love that on your last trip you made the drive part of your adventure instead of just commuting up to Mammoth.
We kind of said, why rush it? We can't get into our condo until 3 or 4 o'clock anyways. Let's just enjoy what we can. The next stop for both of us, I know, Melissa, you feel the same way. You have to stop at the Shots bakery in Bishop. For reference, Shots has wonderful fresh baked goodies, croissants, donuts, bread. We normally get a bunch of bread for our condo before we go up the hill so we can make sandwiches.
And there's actually a Shots in Mammoth too, but for some reason that Bishop one just hits different. I think it's because of the timing. It's because you're like an hour away and you're really excited. Also in Bishop, our family's favorite place to stop is Mahogany Smoked Meats. They have so many different flavors of beef jerky. We load up on those, and then we also grab sandwiches for lunch. That place is so good.
Do you get sandwiches at Mahogany Smoked Meats too? Or?
Yes. So we order sandwiches, and then while they're making them, get to walk around and you pick different types of beef jerky that you're getting. It's like a little tasting time, and then decide on our beef jerky. And then by the time we do that, it's time to eat the sandwiches.
Oh, I didn't know they had sandwiches. I'll have to stop there next time. We always make fun of my older brother because he stops there and spends like $50 on beef jerky, and we laugh at him, but inevitably it all gets eaten.
Wait, have I actually told you this? We were there one time and we saw your brother.
No.
3 or 4 years ago, and we literally did see your brother there.
Did he have $50 worth of beef jerky?
But he had a lot of beef jerky. But we get a lot of beef jerky too.
It's kindred spirits. Okay, that's hilarious. I didn't know that. Let's talk about going up the mountain. After you leave Bishop, that's when you start climbing an elevation. Word to the wise, if you're going to the snow, always carry chains. I know specifically in Southern California, we think we don't need that sort of thing. We don't need rain boots. We don't need umbrellas. We don't need snow chains. In this instance, bring your chains because when you get to a certain point, they will require them if there's snow on the road. And if you don't have them, Highway Patrol will definitely send you back to Bishop. Don't make that mistake.
It was at this spot that I actually learned how to put on chains. We went up there in college, a bunch of us girls. We're getting in kind of late at night, and it was snowy, and Highway Patrol told us we needed chains. It was one of those situations where we're both all yelling, screaming, cursing at each other, so mad, but then also just laughing at the hilarity of the situation. Like, okay, wait, we're the adults now. We have to put on the chains. The girl who ultimately figured out how to put on the chains went on to become a doctor. So clearly she was the smartest of all of us. This is also before you had YouTube on your phone. So we were really just like winging it. Yeah, learn how to put on chains maybe before you go to Mammoth. But either way, we learned how to do it, and we were successful.
And my dad told me that before we left. He's like, make sure you watch a YouTube video on how to put the chains on again. Such a dad thing to say.
Chain comments aside, one of the things that I actually really like about Mammoth is that it really is an easy drive. You're not going up windy mountain roads. Some of the other mountain trips we've gone to going elsewhere, you're going on this windy mountain road, and if you get car sick, it's pretty terrible. But for Mammoth, you just drive straight into town. It's really easy.
It's an easy mountain road. It's only about 5 hours, and 4 of them is on flat highway, and they just recently redid the 395 freeway, which is how you get there from Southern California. So it's 2-lane. It feels very safe. Don't be daunted by 5 hours. It's an easy 5 hours.
Totally agree.
As we were talking about slowing our roll up to Mammoth from Southern California, the last place we were going to go was the hot springs. Mammoth is built by a volcano, so there's a lot of hot springs in the area. The one we considered was Wild Willie's, but I had my husband look up how to get there as we were approaching, and there was a dirt road, and it had snowed the day before. So I just immediately was like, I don't want to get stuck. But then also, it was clothing optional. In this instance, we decided to pivot.
We would make that decision too, especially with the kids, but actually just especially for my own eyes. I don't need to see what I don't want to see.
I do. So there are a few different ones. I don't know if maybe the Wild Willie's was specifically clothing optional or if they're all clothing optional, but I would say do your research before you check out the hot springs because I was caught a little unaware. So I'm glad we didn't go.
You know, we're also in the middle of planning another trip. And for some reason, you keep sending me clothing optional places. Is this like a thing? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know what my algorithm is sending me, but I specifically keep getting fed clothing optional resorts. So just a word to the wise, we'll make sure to filter those out from our show notes. We've talked about gear before in Steamboat. We rented at Steamboat, and I feel like we have the tendency to rent at the mountain. This year, we tried something different. There is a shop in Costa Mesa called Phil's, and we decided to rent our gear for Mammoth there before we headed up the mountain. It's about $25 per day for the kids' gear, boots and skis. And then for adults, it's between $35 to $55 per day, depending on which package you decide on. They have this wonderful program where you can spend $200 to rent skis, poles, boots for the entire season. And what's nice about that, especially for kids, they grow so fast. If you need to switch out equipment midstream, they're happy to do it. And I would say it was so nice not to have to rush to the lodge, wait in line to rent our ski equipment. The kids are in their snow clothes. They're hot, sweaty. Everybody gets anxious. It was really nice to wake up in the morning, put on our ski boots, walk to the mountain, and just get on the lift as opposed to having to rent there. Phil's was great. No wait. We walked in. They sized us up. We did it a few days before we left. They're like, just come the day before, pick up your equipment. You can drop it off when you get home. A different option than renting on the hill. And I think it might even be cheaper.
Since you picked it up before, you start paying on the day you pick it up.
Correct.
So you were, quote unquote, paying for the rentals pre-trip.
Exactly. So we went in on a Saturday, tried on all the equipment, said, we want to rent this stuff. We'll come back on Thursday, got our stuff on Thursday, and then drove up on Friday. So they start charging you for like the first full day you have the equipment. It's nice because then you can do all this ahead of time, get it when you need it, and then take it up with you.
That sounds awesome.
I know. I've never done it before.
So now we'll talk about where to stay. My family stayed everywhere in Mammoth over the years, from the little inns to big rental houses. We have some friends who have homes in Mammoth, so we've stayed there, to condos, anything in between. We've done it. We love staying near Canyon Lodge. Eagle is also great. Regardless of where you stay, Mammoth is a really easy town to navigate, whether you're driving around yourself in your own car, but there's also a free shuttle that goes around the town, and we've done both. When we're looking for rental houses for a ski trip, we always try to stay somewhere with a jacuzzi because a hot tub after skiing is one of the best things ever, especially for my old bones and my old muscles.
I feel like you and Brooke love a hot tub.
We love a hot tub.
All joking aside, I love a hot tub. My kids love a hot tub. Hot tub is a must for post-ski.
Yes. And when you're going multiple days, it really does help you to be ready for the next day.
Yeah, helps with all those sore muscles from pizza, French fries.
Yes.
Well, Melissa's a snowboarder, so what would you call that?
Ooh, I feel like when you're just going kind of heel side down.
Heel side down?
I don't think that's the term. I'm not cool enough to know the terms. But when we're looking at our rentals or our options, you do that triangulation of what has the right amount of space, where is it located, and is there a hot tub?
Got to be a hot tub. For our President's Day trip, when we went for ski week, we stayed at the Summit, which is right near Eagle Lodge. I've never stayed there before. I'll link the Verbo that we rented. The beds were firm. The sheets were really nice. The pillows felt new. The blankets were warm. If the bedding is nice, that's what makes a rental for me. Not to mention the location was really awesome. We walked to the Eagle Lodge the first day and it was like 10 minutes. But the second day, I'm like, you know what, Parker, why don't you just drive us there with all the equipment? The first day, the kids carried all their equipment and there was a lot of whining. So days 2 and 3 and 4, the dads all got in the cars with us with the luggage and then shuttled us to the front of the lodge. And I know it's only 10-minute walk, but it really made a huge difference with the kids complaining the whole time.
Can I tell you a tip that our friends gave us? You should look into the overnight lockers.
Oh, yeah.
In Mammoth, they're about $20 and you just leave your stuff there. And just to not have to do that extra little lugging. My 3-year-old, as much as I like to say she's independent, she is not carrying her own snowboard. Honestly, neither is my 6-year-old. Thank you, Mike and Laura, for that tip.
Oh my gosh, pro ski tip, everybody. Get the lockers. You know what? I think my dad does that too.
Yeah, the overnight lockers for the ski gear, it's kind of awesome and worth it.
Yeah,
Like
$20,
$20.
$20 is worth it for a family of 5 to put all of your ski equipment in one place and not have to lug it. That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
We normally stay at Canyon as well. As Melissa said, it's a great central location, great jump off point for the mountain. But this trip, we chose to stay near Eagle because it's really far outside from the other 2 major lodges. And so it's, in my opinion, a bit quieter. And there's one really long green run that's great for new skiers. So since we were up there with our kids this time, and we were really focused on teaching them how to ski, it seemed like the perfect location for us this trip.
Yeah, Eagle is a lot more chill. That said, the après in Canyon Lodge is not to be missed. It gets wild. Maybe not when you have your kids, but it's pretty fun. You could get a VIP table with champagne spray, which how fun would that be, honestly, if we didn't have our kids?
So fun.
It's $1,700, but I mean, come on, how fun.
I mean, if you get 10 people to go and everybody pays $170, I'm sure that some of that goes towards your bar tab. Totally worth it for an après champagne spray. That sounds wonderful.
Eagle is good for the mellow kid situation.
Let's say Canyon is for the adults and Eagle is more so for the kids.
Yes. So on the topic of après ski and the mellower options, there's also Austriahof, which is really great for a hot toddy. It's right off the mountain, so you just don't have all that chaotic lodge energy, but it's still like a really fun vibe. So,
it's cute.
Yeah,
Like,
it's super cute.
It feels like you're in an old-timey German or Swiss ski lodge.
Yeah, it's quaint.
It's quaint.
It's quaint.
Yeah. We've talked about skiing with kids before. The first day we got in, we decided to ski with the girls. They're 5 and 7 for reference. And shout out to Launchpad Ski Harness. We've talked about them in the past. This helped us to get up and down the mountain great since they cannot stop yet. We've tried to like yell pizza at them, but they don't really quite get it. The harness definitely helps them to speed check once they get to the steep parts of the mountain. The second day, we decided to put them in a lesson, and the instructor was great. I told him, hey, we've been up and down this lift all day, so they're prepared to go on it. They know what to do, but we're really having a hard time doing our S-turns and stopping. So he took that to heart. The girls loved him. His name was Faso. So if anybody wants to request an instructor in Mammoth, his name is Faso. He's great. He had the girls nickname themselves. They called themselves the Labubus first, but then switched to the Eagles because we were staying at Eagle Lodge. And let me tell you, tip alert, we call it pocket snacks or pocket candy. Before you leave the condo, stuff their pockets with all kinds of snacks and little candies that they can eat on the lift because it just makes the trip so much fun. They fall down, you get a pocket treat. You are cold, you get a pocket treat. It just reframes the whole experience for the kids. And truly, like when they say they want a break, you give them a break, you go get hot chocolate. This isn't about becoming a professional skier. It's about them creating a lifelong hobby and enjoying skiing with their families.
Yeah, we have the same attitude about snowboarding with the kids. We try to keep it super low pressure. We sing songs on the chairlifts. We play games on the chairlifts. Our last ski trip, we started doing this game where we say we're eating people and you just kind of make your hand be like a little alligator and you're just trying to munch people. It was like a Pac-Man game and we're doing that on the chairlifts and just cracking up and just keeping the spirits high, the pressure low. The treats are a-flowing. We literally pack our pockets, we pack their pockets with candy, eating that at all times of the day.
I don't even wait until something bad happens. I'm like, who wants a pocket treat? And my youngest specifically, I think, loves skiing because of the pocket treats.
Getting candy at 9 a.m. is kind of a delight for a kid.
It's a delight for me. I love a pocket treat. Let's talk about food for a second. There's a lot of great restaurants in Mammoth. I'll start with lunch. Sometimes we'll pack pocket sandwiches. You've heard a lot of pocket snacks, pocket treats, pocket sandwiches, anything in your pockets. Let's just say I'm like a traveling convenience store on the mountain.
Load up those pockets.
Instead of bringing lunch with us to the mountain this year, which you can definitely do, we decided to eat at the Eagle Lodge. There's 2 restaurants at Eagle. The first day we ate at Foul Language, which had chicken sandwiches, get it, FOWL, chicken fingers, burgers, chicken burgers, and it was pretty good. But then I had the worst order envy I think I've ever had in my life. I looked over and I saw a girl who could not be more than 12, just barbecue sauce all over her face, crushing a rack of rib. And I've never been more jealous in my whole life. So for the rest of the trip, we ate at the other restaurant at Eagle, which is this barbecue place outside. They had ribs, tri-tip, roast chicken, mac and cheese, coleslaw. One of, in my opinion, the best mountainside lunches I've ever had. Check it out, barbecue, slopeside at Eagle Lodge.
Sounds delicious.
Let's talk about dinner spots. Melissa, you have a few that you love.
For any Top Chef fans out there, you may know the Voltaggio brothers. They have a restaurant called Vulcania, which is quite literally Top Chef level food. So good. And then if you want to sneak away for a parents' night out, Clock Tower Bar is a super fun vibe. There's foosball, stiff drinks, and it's a very chill mountain town vibe. So we usually try to stay at a place where there is a kitchen, and we usually just have a quick breakfast before we're hitting the slopes. But on the days where we're having a leisurely morning, or maybe it's the day that we're checking out, so we're just heading home, we really like to go to Good Luck Cafe and the Breakfast Club. They can accommodate big groups. They have big hearty meals. It's really good food there too.
Speaking of big groups, you wouldn't think that Mammoth would be a good place for sushi, but one night we went to this place called Gojira, which I'm pretty sure translates to Godzilla, but they don't take reservations. So we got there at 5:30 and they seated our party of 10 within like 10 minutes. Great option if you have a big group, get there early. The sushi was excellent. The service was really fast, and that saved us because the kids were totally wiped at the end of the day. Thank you, Gojira, for making it a quick and delicious meal. If we want to talk about other activities that you can do in Mammoth, there's a Rockin' Bowl. We got a 2-hour rental this past time. I would say you only need 1 hour. There's a big arcade there as well. And I think my kids were more obsessed with the arcade than they were at the bowling. So the 2-hour rental was a bit too long. Also, upstairs, there's a golf simulator and this restaurant called the Brasserie. The restaurant is delicious. I wouldn't take the kids there, but for an adult's night out, really good food. And this Rockin' Bowl is a one-stop shop. They have bowling, the arcade, they have the golf simulator, they have a really nice 5-star restaurant, and then they have like a bar and restaurant downstairs in the Rockin' Bowl. So check it out.
Other non-ski activities are that there's a tube park. You should book ahead because it does fill up. And then there's a gondola. It's really fun too. My kids will just ride the gondola. We'll just do that.
We were there during the summer and I was looking for something to do with the girls. And you go to the main lodge and you can ride the gondola up from there to the top of the mountain. The kids, I believe under 12 are free with a paying adult. If you're looking for something that's not ski related, great option.
And there's also a lot of cute shops in Mammoth. It's sort of a badge of honor in California to have Mammoth Mountain gear and apparel. Wander around, buy some Mammoth gear. Another way, though, to get Mammoth gear is that if you follow Mammoth's social media accounts, they do beanie drops all through the season. That's kind of like a fun treasure hunt around the mountain. We've certainly gotten beanies that way. So someone who works at Mammoth will go up on some random lift in some random area and then post on social media, all right, we're here at share whatever. And then you have to be one of the first 25 people to get there. And that's really fun.
And the kids love the mascot. They have a giant woolly mammoth in a costume skiing around the mountain or snowboarding around the mountain. And the kids absolutely love that. So we got a lot of pictures with Wooly the mammoth when we were skiing this past time.
Mammoth is just super special to us. I've been going to Mammoth for as long as I can remember, countless times in college with my friends, in young adulthood. with my husband pre-kids, and now we go up as a family with our kids. Brooke was even a liftie there. So when right after college, he was a liftie there. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
So it has a lot of good memories. We did a gender reveal for our third kid there.
What? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
For Hannah?
Yeah, that's how we found out Hannah was a girl. It was up there. Schatz made us little cupcakes, and we found out we were having a girl. Mammoth's just been woven into all of our different life stages, so I just love it.
It's also really fun during the summer. If anybody is interested in beer, there's a Mammoth Festival of Beers and Blues and wonderful hiking.
Didn't our husbands go to a bachelor party up there?
I actually think they went to the Mammoth Festival of Beers and Blues.
For the bachelor party.
For the bachelor party.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's great golf, too, if you're into that. I am not into that.
Golf. Every wife's nemesis.
I think we've been really talking Mammoth up here. We love it there. It's accessible. It's reliable. And if you slow down the drive, it becomes part of the experience. Winter or summer, it's a great place to visit and really explore the Eastern Sierra Nevadas.
Be aware that you may need to pivot if there's a clothing optional place you're going, but that's the organized chaos way.
Right? Make sure to check the fine print. All right. We'll see you next time.
Also, as you heard, we love your feedback and questions. Please keep them coming. Find us at ourorganizedchaos.com or DM us on TikTok or Instagram at our.organized.chaos. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for listening. See you on our next adventure.